Welcome to day 16 of 4 weeks of yoga. Today we're going to continue the yoga sequence for this week, starting seated on the floor with the eyes closed to do a body scan. So we're going to start with the breath. We're really going to focus on our breath and bring our attention to it, noticing where it's at in this moment. And now you can bring the focus towards the feet and the legs, noticing how the muscles feel today. Now you can shift the focus up to the hips and the torso. And now you can think about the hands and the arms. And now we're going to shift the focus up to the shoulders and the neck. And finally, we're going to bring our attention towards our state of mind, acknowledging where it's at in this moment. Now we're going to come to standing to do our sun salutations. So standing on one end of the yoga mat, we're going to inhale the arms out and up, really reaching towards the sky, looking up. And exhaling, we're going to bend from the waist and touch the floor. We're going to lift the head a bit. Exhaling, we're going to step back and lower down into upward facing dog or cobra pose. Now we're going to push back into a downward facing dog. With an inhale, we're going to step the hands back to the feet. Exhaling, we're going to straighten the knees. And we're going to come back up with the arms up. And with an exhale, we're going to lower the arms. Inhaling, reach the arms out and up. Exhaling, we're going to touch the floor, bending from the waist. Inhaling, we're going to lift the head and chest a bit. Exhaling, we're going to step back and lower into that upward facing dog or cobra pose. Now we're going to push up into downward facing dog. Inhaling, we're going to step the feet back towards the hands and straighten the knees. Inhaling, we're going to come back up with the arms towards the sky. And exhaling, we're going to lower the hands. We're going to reach the arms out and up, really stretching towards the sky. And exhaling, we're going to bend from the waist and touch the floor. Inhaling, we're going to lift up the head a bit. And exhaling, we're going to lower down into cobra pose or upward facing dog. We're going to push back into downward facing dog. Inhaling, we're going to bring the feet back towards the hands. Exhaling, we're going to straighten the knees. And we're going to come back up, reaching our arms out and up. And exhaling, we're going to lower the arms. Inhaling, you're going to reach out and up. And exhaling, we're going to bend from the waist to touch the floor. Inhaling, you're going to lift the head and chest a bit, and exhaling, we're going to relax them. Inhaling, we're going to lift the head and chest a bit, and now we're going to step back and come to all fours to do cat-cow. So inhaling, we're going to arch the back, and exhaling, we're going to round it. Inhaling, we're going to arch, and exhaling, we're going to round. This is great to practice breath to movement connection. So exhaling, we're in rounding, and arching, we're going to inhale. Exhaling, we're going to round the back, and inhaling, we're going to arch it. Exhaling, we round the back, and I'm going to stay here for an inhale and lower down into child's pose with an exhale. We're going to come back up, inhaling and arching the back, and exhaling, we're going to round it. And then lower down into child's pose. Inhaling, we're going to come up and arch the back, and exhaling, we're going to round it. And we're going to lower down into child's pose. Inhaling, we're going to come up, arching the back, and then we're going to round it. And then lower down into child's pose with an exhale. You're going to come up with an inhale, keeping the back neutral now. We're going to tuck the toes and slightly lift the knees off the floor. We don't want to arch the back or round it too much. We really want to keep that back long and engage the core. Now we're going to push up into downward facing dog. Straighten the knees as much as you can while still keeping the back long. Now we're going to bring the right knee into the chest, lowering the hips and shifting the weight forward. And we're going to push back into downward facing dog. Now we're going to bring the left knee into the chest. Same thing here, we don't want to arch the back or round it too much. We want to keep it nice and long. We're going to push back into downward facing dog. And then we're going to do the same thing with the right knee. Bring it into the chest, shifting the weight forward. And then we're going to go back to downward facing dog for one breath. So we're going to bring the left knee into the chest now, lowering the hips and shifting the weight forward. And now we're going to go back into downward facing dog. Now you can lower your knees and exhaling, lower down into child's pose to rest. Now we're going to come up and get ready to do dolphin pose. So on all fours with the elbows on the floor underneath the shoulders with the hands clasped together. Inhaling, we're going to lift the hips and straighten the knees as much as you can. And we're going to try to keep the back long here as well. We're going to walk the feet back a bit, lower the hips and shift the weight forward to stay in a dolphin plank pose. Now you can lower the knees, and with an exhale, we're going to come into child's pose to rest. Now we're going to come up to do boat pose. So we're going to sit with our knees bent. It's kind of like a V-sit. You can keep the feet touching the floor if you need to, or you can bring them up a little bit higher, still bent, or you can straighten them, doing whichever variation you can do while still keeping the spinal cord long, the back nice and straight. So now we're going to come back up, we're going to relax, we're going to sit up with the back straight. Now we're going to repeat it. So lifting the feet off the ground, straightening them if you can. You're going to stay here for a couple breaths. And now we're going to lower down and sit up nice and straight. So now we're going to come to standing for our cardio. So the first exercise is squats with little jumps. So you're going to get ready to do 30 seconds of squats with little jumps, and the 30 seconds start now. Perfect. Now we're going to rest for 15 seconds and get ready to do our second exercise, which is ice skaters with no jumps. So you can watch me in the video to see how to do the exercise. Now we're going to start the 30 seconds of ice skaters. You can go at your own pace here. You can speed up if you want a little bit more of a challenge, or you can slow it down to make sure you're doing the exercise correctly. That's why I like doing increments of seconds instead of repetitions, because that way everyone can go at their own pace. Wonderful. Now we're going to rest for another 15 seconds and get ready to do the next exercise, which is reverse lunges with a kick. And we're going to keep switching the legs. And 30 seconds start now. Really try to kick nice and strong. I kick with a flexed foot to really remind myself to do a nice strong kick. Now we're going to rest for 15 seconds. Make sure you're still breathing. So easy to forget, but that's so crucial to breathe. So now we're going to repeat all of that, starting with the squats with little jumps. And the 30 seconds start now. Perfect. Now we're going to rest for another 15 seconds and get ready to do the no jump ice skaters. And the 30 seconds start now. Perfect. Now we're going to rest for 15 seconds and get ready to do the very last exercise. So only 30 more seconds of exercising. You got this. We're going to get ready to do our 30 seconds of reverse lunges with a kick. And the 30 seconds start now. Wonderful. Now we're done with the cardio. So we can come back down to the floor and we're going to lay on our backs with the knees bent to do our cool down stretches. So we're going to place our right foot on the left knee. You can leave it on the floor, or you can bring the legs closer to your chest. Flexing both feet, and as always, this is when the time we're going to start to slowly lengthen the breath to bring the heart rate back down after having done the cardio. Now we're going to release the legs and switch the feet. So left foot on the right knee, either leaving it on the ground or you can bring them closer to your chest. Now we're going to release the legs, and we're going to straighten the right leg and bend the left one, letting the left knee twist over to the right side, stretching the left arm out to that side, keeping the shoulder on the ground. Now we're going to come back and we're going to switch legs. So we're going to bend the right leg, letting the knee twist over to the left side. And we're going to extend the right arm out to that side, keeping the shoulder on the floor. Now we're going to come back and we're going to bend both legs, placing the hands on the kneecaps, and we're going to exhale, bringing the knees into the chest. Inhaling, we're going to let the back arch and extend the arms, and exhaling, we're going to round the back, bringing the knees into the chest again. Inhaling, we're going to arch the back, letting the arms extend, and exhaling, we're going to bring the knees back into the chest. Inhaling, we're going to arch the back, letting the arms extend. Now you can release the legs and let them go wherever is most comfortable, either bent or straight. And you can let your hands rest wherever is most comfortable as well, either on your torso or relaxing next to your sides, palms up. And we're going to continue to focus on the breath. We're going to continue to lengthen it as much as is comfortable. And we're just going to draw our attention to our breath. If you have your hands on your torso, you can pay attention to the movements that it's making. The breath, with each inhale and with each exhale, you're going to notice the movements of the torso. And we're going to start to relax physically, mentally, and emotionally. So you can start from your toes and work your way up to the tip of your head, noticing any muscles that are tensed, and little by little trying to relax them. When you reach your head, you can go into your mind and just kind of clear your mind of unnecessary thoughts. They're going to still float around in your head, but you can just keep them towards the back of the mind. We're not going to give the thoughts any importance right now or bring them to the front of the mind, because this is your time to rest. So we're going to continue here, relaxing everything and just breathing and enjoying our breath. As we're resting here and we've cleared our mind of unnecessary thoughts, we're going to think about our meditation for today. which comes from 1 Peter 1:8, and it says, "Though you have not seen him, you love him, and even though you do not see him now, you believe in him, and are filled with an inexpressible and glorious joy." As we're resting here, we're just going to let our hearts fill up with joy. Our hearts, our minds, and even our bodies, we're just going to let them fill up with joy. We're going to feel our stress and anxiety and negative emotions just sink away. They're going to sink into the floor. And the space that they're leaving creates is going to be filled up with this joy and peace. We're just going to feel grateful for these moments to rest, grateful for our incredibly and intricately designed bodies and minds. And we're just going to be grateful, peaceful, and joyful, truly resting. And when you're ready, you can roll over to one side, and with a soft gaze or closed eyes, you can gently push up to seated. Now we're going to place the hands over the heart, and with a deep, long inhale, we're going to fill the heart up with this joy and peace. And exhaling, we're going to send all of that into our entire body. So inhaling, we're going to fill the heart with this gratitude and joy. And exhaling, we're going to send it to our entire body. Now you can lower the hands, and inhaling, we're going to lower the head a bit. And as you exhale, you can slowly open the eyes and lift the head. So that was our practice for today. I hope you enjoyed it and found it helpful. And I hope you have a magnificent and mindful day. See you next time.